Gord Donnelly is a former NHL'er, spent 12 years in the show, and he's here watching his son, Dylan, try out with the Moncton Wildcats. And Gord, great to have you here. We met briefly at the draft. What's it like to come back and watch a training camp?
Well, and for me, it's just routine. But for the kids, I know it's nerve-wracking. It's exciting, and you know, they're all pressing to impress. So it's interesting for me.
Did you, when you started watching this, did it take you back to when you were a kid, Dylan's age?
Well, in my junior time, it's starting to bring back some memories. But it's also watching him develop as a person, as a player, which is also interesting for me too, and to help him along to.
That's one of the things that a lot of people don't talk about in junior hockey is the development of the person. We talk a lot about developing hockey. Talk to us a little about that and how important it is.
Well, I feel it's really important. I think that it's hard for them. They come down. Well, for us, we're from Montreal, so down to the Maritimes, and be away and have to battle through tough times and good times, and not have the support from home, and to be alone. And you only grow up faster as a person and mature quicker as a person. And it's one of the reasons that we wanted him to become a member of the Moncton Wildcats. For me, being in the business, knowing it's arguably one of the best, if not the best run team in the CHL. So this is our number one choice, and here we are, and we're really happy, really happy.
Now, is it difficult for you you're a scout for the Blackhawks, is it difficult for you to be objective when you're watching Dylan out there?
Objective, I can be overly critical sometimes, which I don't want to be. So I try to keep my distance, and I try to encourage them and tell them to this, when the bad times come, or bad games come, or bad shifts, that's part of this business. Again, a part of the progression of being a hockey player, wanting to be a hockey player long term, wherever direction he goes. My goal for him is just to have a great, real fun junior year for this year and prepare for next year.
And if you're like most fathers who've been that route, I remember many of the older pros talking about it. Their sons didn't necessarily follow in their footsteps, but that was fine with them.
Certainly is. I think that I'm very fortunate that he's brought me back into the game at the minor hockey level, now the junior level. It's kept me involved. It's kept my wife involved. We love the game. We love the lifestyle of the game, and it's just fun. It's just fun. I'm glad that he's chosen this route.
Okay, I want to ask you one other question before we wrap this up. 12 years in the NHL, is there one experience of the 12 years that stands out for you?
Well, it's a difficult question. I think the one experience I can talk about is the most disappointing experience I had was we lost the World Cup final when I was playing for Sherbrooke Beavers at the time against Kitchener Rangers, 1983. We got blown out actually, and Mike Eagles, my former teammate in pro hockey in Winnipeg and Quebec and Fredericton, burned me twice for 2 goals in the first period, shorthander. So that's the one thing I can talk about that stands out the most.
But you look back at it, and I'm sure if you and Mike got together, you'd laugh your heads off.
We do all the time. I still bug him about it. He says, "Let it go," but I can't.
Gord Donnelly is the father of Dylan Donnelly, former NHL'er, this gentleman, and here watching his son work out with the Moncton Wildcats at their training camp.